How'd you feel about practice the past couple days?
Yeah, good week. I mean, I thought we had our best Tuesday and Wednesday back-to-back probably we've had this year, or maybe at any point since we've been here. Guys are just, you could tell we have a lot of experience, and we're being able to add things and do more, and just guys that perform at a high level. So it's good week of practice.
One thing I was curious, how are you guys kind of preparing for the altitude in Utah?
Nothing you can do to prepare for it. I mean, you just gotta, in a lot of ways, you gotta ignore it. So we'll play a lot of guys like we always do. We'll make sure we do a good job of, doing all the stuff we can do hydration-wise, take care of our bodies, all that. But then, it's a 2-week acclimation only to acclimatize to high altitudes. So I don't know how big of an impact it's going to have.
Have you been emphasizing fluids more and rest more than?
Yeah, well, we do. We normally do, but yeah, more this week. More similar to like we did when we played Texas.
And are you guys expecting to have oxygen on the sideline?
No, we won't do that.
No. Not quite as bad as Colorado, right?
Yeah, no, and I mean, depending on what altitude you look at, there's a couple different claims. It's not much different than it was in Lubbock. When I was in Lubbock. I mean, it's a little higher, but no one ever even talked about the altitude of Lubbock. I didn't even know that there was altitude. So I just found out it was like 3,800 feet.
When did you find that out?
Just when I was doing some research on Salt Lake City. I had no idea.
This week?
Yeah.
That's funny.
So I lived there for 20 years. I had no idea it was 3,800 feet. So I mean, like I said, we didn't even know it, so it never really affected us. No, never once.
Now, after you made the crowd has never scored a touchdown, do you have any sense of what the Utah social media monster did with that?
I'm not too much on social media.
Okay.
Yeah. They like to run with people like to run with stuff. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure that it's going to be loud. I mean, it's going to be loud no matter what. I mean, it's a good home environment from what I hear. I've never been there, but that's what everybody says. That they got a great student section. I mean, look. I mean, it's going to be loud. We're okay with that.
Now, Jared and the receivers have their American Sign Language, whatever their hand jive that they do with silent stuff. The Utah, the student section prides itself on creating false starts and getting guys to jump. How confident are you in their kind of unspoken language?
Well, we do it. I mean, our center calls the cadence, and we do it year round. We practice for this 365 days a year. We don't just all of a sudden start preparing for it the week of the game. We do it every day, and that's why we do it that way. So I mean, our guys, like I said, we start practicing that from the very first meeting we have with our players.
Is it surprised you what Utah's been able to do this year, or did you expect them to have this kind of year?
No, I mean, they had a good football team last year, and they lost some close ball games similar to what we did, and but I mean, you could see they had talent. They had a lot of guys coming back, so you can see how they have a good football team, and so I'm not surprised at all.
How impressive is it to you that they have new coordinators and haven't had really any sort of learning curve?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing they've had is just continuity. I mean, the new coordinator was a defensive line coach and was elevated, and so I mean, when you have continuity in your program, then you don't have all these tremendous changes. And so, there's always change when you lose a coordinator, but it's most of the stuff that they've done has been kind of screwdriver adjustments instead of chainsaw adjustments, and so that's it's a lot easier for guys to adapt when there's just a little change here and a little change there as opposed to wholesale change.
Still doing well on the health front?
Yeah.
Pretty much everyone except for Austin.
Yeah. Austin's the only guy. Jack's the only one, and we expect Jack back for UCLA.
And so Farley and Jaleel and Wilson all look good.
Everybody,
100%.
Yeah. Everybody good. Yeah, Lasco, all of them. Yeah.
And yet, does Lasco look like he's going to be able to be a starter on Friday?
Yeah. We'll see tomorrow. I mean, he's practiced good all week. I was just talking to Tony about it, and we both got a lot of confidence in him. We'll see. We expect him to be, just like he did last week.
And I guess you've had a couple big games this year, but does this one feel different to you at all? I know every week feels the same.
Yeah, honestly, not really. I mean, it's I think the more you win, the more the games get bigger, and so if we win this one, then the next one will be even bigger, and that's just the way it goes. I mean, that's what you want. And so that's what we got to do. We just got to keep improving and keep playing and keep practicing, and and our performance will give us a chance to win if we'll go out and play well.
Specifically for the special teams, this is probably their biggest test so far this year. Where do you want to see improvement there on Saturday?
Well, we haven't covered kicks particularly well or kicked off well, so that's going to be where it starts. We've got to do those things well, and I think we've improved our kick coverage tremendously. We've made some personnel adjustments. We've changed some things. I think we covered kicks better last week. Going to have to do it this week. And, our punting game's been good, so we've got to continue to do that. I mean, Cole's been hanging the ball up well. What guys have been covering. We got to make all our extra points and field goals, and that's going to be an area that we can improve in. And at times we've made them all, and other times we haven't. And so we just got to be more consistent in that. But these guys are good. I mean, they've made a lot of big plays this year. I mean, they've returned 2 punts and a kickoff back, and they've got fake punt. It was a big play against Oregon. I mean, when you look at their history, they've done a lot of creative things on special teams. So we've just got to make sure that we are aggressive and match their plays when we get opportunities.
What were some of the changes you made on the kickoff coverage?
Just to change our personnel some. Just changed our personnel and a couple of techniques that we were doing. But it wasn't
like
that big
gunners
of a
and that kind of thing?
Yeah, just some of the landmarks we had.
Okay. Thanks, Sonny.
Okay, guys. Appreciate it.